New figures recorded for the first time by the Office for National Statistics have revealed 84 homeless people died in Kent and the South East last year. But that figure could be even higher with the case of Russell Lane, a homeless man who died in January after being scooped into the back of a bin lorry in Rochester. He was highlighted as someone not known to be homeless. Meanwhile, nearly 5,000 people in the county are homeless, but in Tunbridge Wells, that number has doubled since 2010. Jim Stewart has opened a winter shelter at St James's Church with the help of volunteers to support the influx of people needing a place to rest their head.
This time of year, we're particularly conscious of how warm and comfortable we are and how it is not fair, not just, that we have all that and other people are missing out. At 8:30, they would sit down, have a meal, guests and volunteers together. Round about 10:30, we encourage them to settle down for the night. There'll be 12 beds here, camp beds set out. One of the things we have seen is homeless who are working, and that's very sad, so that we adjust the rules of the shelter to make sure that they can come in after hours if they're coming straight from work.
Now, Tunbridge Wells is a fairly affluent area and a lovely place for those working in the city to live. But with that comes high house prices and a rental market that leaves those living on the breadline struggling to find a place to live.
Rental property around here is expensive, and if you need to have a deposit to start with as well in order to get into it. When housing associations had more freedom, it was a little bit easier. They existed in order to solve these sorts of problems and help people who were moving on from a shelter to the next stage of things. Now that we're much more dependent on the private rental market, it is a wholly different ballgame. Who builds the houses perhaps matters less than that houses are built so that the supply is there. But we've had this as a priority for a number of years. Haven't really seen the houses being built.
Elsewhere in the county, a shelter is set to open in Medway next year to support the 1,100 people homeless in the towns. But even with churches and community centres opening their doors this winter, the solution lies much deeper, with creating more affordable places to live, so those working while sleeping rough could soon have their own shelter to call home. Joe Coshan for KMTV.
And one resident doing their bit to help the homeless this Christmas is Medway teenager Sharlie Sleney. She's been creating boxes of presents to give to people living on the streets after teaming up with homeless charity The Street Angels. I'm delighted to say that Mid-Kent College student joins me now. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. Tell us a little bit more about how you've been helping people on the streets.
Well, originally I came up with the idea because obviously I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook about it, and I just thought about doing it because obviously whenever I'm walking through the high street, I do see quite a lot of homeless people. I've seen obviously Neil, who runs the soup kitchen. I've seen that quite a few times, so I thought it'd be good if I went down on a Friday night when they obviously are running the soup kitchen. And to my surprise, it wasn't as sad as I thought it was going to be. It was quite nice actually to see them all happy, and obviously that made me really open my eyes.
Absolutely, and you've brought in some of the boxes that you've been creating, little presents that you've been going to be taking to people. Tell us a little bit more about those.
Right, well, in the bags, it's got a packet of crisps, a chocolate bar, it's got a hat and gloves, and a pack of tissues. It also has, I wrote out some Christmas cards, and in the Christmas card, I'm pretty sure, I can't really remember now, but I said something along the lines of you are cared about and you're not alone, because obviously this time of year they don't have anyone, and it's the time of year when you're supposed to be with your family. And with these blankets, there's a Facebook group called Medway Random Acts of Kindness, I think it is, and a lovely lady on there was giving them away for free, so she let me take them because I'm going to go down there on Christmas Day with my mum.
And what's the reaction been like? What's the response been like?
Oh, it's been mad. I didn't expect it to get as much response as it did. I thought, well, people are going to be quite funny about it, but actually a lot of people were saying that it's inspired them to do better.
And do you think that society needs to do more to help people who are homeless? Yeah,
I think so, because obviously there is so many people that are homeless and you don't really see it that much. Obviously, as I was younger, I used to get upset about it, but during my teenage years, I'd just walk past and kind of brush it off, and when you see them, like, very, I can't think of the word.
Just having to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, and people should help out a lot more, because at the end of the day, we go home, we have a hot meal and a hot shower, and God knows where they are for the evening.
Well, it sounds like you're doing absolutely fantastic work, and thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.